so much. I've also added some green into the highlight, and I rearranged my canvas, if you can see, where the edge is up here, so it'll be a little bit more sturdier. Let's see, let's go into the dark flesh tones. I'm gonna get me some more thinner. And flesh is 3 colors. You can buy it already in the tubes, but I like to make mine, that way I can adjust it the way I like it. So I'm gonna start with a small bit of red, cadmium red, little bit more of cadmium yellow deep hue, but I'm not mixing it into the red. I'm mixing it to the side of the red, where the red just sort of rivers into the yellow. Then I'm going to add a lot more white than normal, and it's going to go down at the bottom of red, yellow, and white. Here's the white right here. So this white right here is going to be my flesh color, if you can see it well. That's going to be the regular flesh color. To create a darker flesh tone, and that's what I'm going to use in between the red and the white. Here's the yellow. I'm going to scoop some out right here, and it's got a little mixture of red and a little mixture of the white in it. Into that, I'm going to mix just a small touch of blue. You might say, blue? Well, I find it a little bit better than green. Green can be used as a toned flesh color as well, but I want to try blue right now. And if it doesn't work, then I'll just fix it. I'm going to go into some of my regular flesh color, and I'm going to add it into that. It might not work the way I'd like it. A little bit more blue. It might work completely different. And the good thing about oils is if you don't like it, wipe it out and try it again. So I'm going to go into this, and it's a little bit dark. It's a darker color. It's almost the color of my palette. Actually, I would like to try it a little bit different, because I don't want it to look, I want to go into this making it look like a child, making it look like the subject matter it is, not like it's a porcelain something. So I am going to add a little bit more blue and a small touch of yellow ochre, and more of the flesh tone. Now to give it a small look of brown flesh. And into that, I'm going to mix blue and white. And this should give me my dark flesh color. And this is it down here. It's almost like a yellowed Payne's gray, but it's not, of course, Payne's gray. And into this, I'm going to just do the parts where I think the shadows are going to be. So the light's coming here. Here's a big toe. I'm going to put some of the flesh right here. And mind you, this is not the right color mixture. I just want something in here so that when I add the blues and the flesh colors and the lights, that it's going to have something that I can comprehend with it, and something I can compare to it. And I'm going to put little indentations of toes, and of course I'll go back in and I can fix that as I go. I'm just doing right now, I'm just, blocking everything in, giving everything a color. Doesn't have to be a mass color or mass tone or anything. Just something for the shadows. Boy, I added some thinner to that, and you can really see the yellows in it now. A little bit more blue. That's too blue. A little bit white. This probably is going to turn out to be not as I'd like, but so that's I'm just, like I said, I'm just starting somewhere. But I want the darks to be in first, so that I know when my light comes and strikes it, I can either like it and keep it, or not like it and take it out. And right here at his shoulder, I'm going to go ahead and paint that in. But I'm not painting it as the shadow. I'm just giving it a little bit of form and a little bit of shape. On this side of the arm, just giving it a little bit of something right there. And I'm going to give his little arm a little something that I can work with later on. And like I said, if I don't like it, I can go over it and I can fix it. I hope you can see the painting okay. Now, right in here, and right in here is this little chest. So I'm just gonna make what I think I can work with. When I do add my color into it, I can work around that all and add some shadow right in here on these little chubby legs. And this is more of just a rough draft type thing. Like I said, I don't have to keep none of this if I don't want it. That's the beauty of oils. If I don't like something, I can go over it and I can fix it, and I very well will. And in this, normally this is going to be a deep shadow because it's away from the light, but I'm just adding this in as well so that I know where his leg stops and the shadow begins. And on this one, I'm not going to add so much. I'm just giving a little line, little indication of where I want the paint to stop. Now, in his face, I painted his face bigger than what I really want. That's to give me some room for error, because one of the ways oil painters learn is we do trial and error. If we paint an apple, we're going to outline it bigger than what it is. When we apply our paint, it's going to be somewhat bigger than what we wanted. But it's in the shadowing of it, that's when we define it. That's where the shape comes in, the tone comes in, and we can correct it as we go. And as one of my most favorite teachers said, learn to make it, break it, and then make it again. And that is a tribute to Helen Van Wyck. I've never met the woman, but I admire her work so very much, and I hope you do too. And if you don't know who she is, Helen Van Wyck is one of the modern masters of our time. She was born, I believe, in 1932 and passed away in 1994. And heaven received an angel. But look up some of her work if you would like to know more. And she's a spectacular master of art. Let's get back to our masterpiece. The eyes, one of the reasons I started with the darks is that way I can know where the lights will go. And so I'm going to go ahead and start with his face, and I'm going to add just a little bit of shadow to his eyes. That way, and it's not going to stay there, of course, but it's to help me to understand where the lights and the shadow and the structures of the eye and the face, the anatomy of the face could go. And I can change it, like I said. Obviously, the nose is going to create a shadow, but a child's nose, how big is an infant's nose? It's really not going to make that much of a difference. But I want it there anyway, so that as I'm bringing the soft flesh in, I can either blend it or I can remake it the way I'd like it. Let's see, on this I can add just a little bit of shadow to his forearm right here, and shadow right here to give me that difference between arm and leg. And right in here is his other little hand, and so I'm just going to go up under it where the fingers won't be hitting the light, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of structure right here. That way, when I go back into it, I'll know what it is, and I just won't paint over it blindly. And the child will be left without a hand. So I'm just putting some out here on the leg so that when I go into it, I know there's a shadow there, and I hope you can see it well. And if you can't, I apologize. But hopefully we can see it better with color when color is applied to it. So let's begin Well, let me add a little bit more to the face, so that when I start with my flesh tones, I know how far to go. And pardon me if I ramble on sometimes, or sometimes not say a word. It's just the way I do. It's the way I paint. And right now I'm not defining anything. Well, in a way I am, but I'm not. This is not going to be the shadow. This is just to help me know the face is going to be, the cheeks are going to be round because it's an infant. Well, not an infant, but it's a child. It's a toddler. It's a child. So clean my brush out, and I'm going to go ahead and clean all my colors off my palette, and I'm going to remake them, because I'm not too thrilled about that blue green in there. I want it to have that one particular color in it, and I'll use a green mixture instead of a blue, because it feels more natural to me.